Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name's Ethan Bernard, and in today's video, Project A's true identity has been revealed, and the name of the game is VALORANT. That's right, folks. Riot Games' brand new free-to-play first-person tactical shooter is called VALORANT, and it's coming this summer. That being said, even though the game's coming way before we expected it, you can also expect to see a couple phases of beta before that, so you might be able to get to play the game sooner than you think. Today, alongside that information, Riot was able to show off some highlights from a match of internal testing, so we got some new gameplay, we know the entire character roster, we know all the weapons. There's a lot of information to go over, and this video is going to be a very brief summary of all of it, and I will have in-depth videos out on all this stuff over the next few weeks before we learn new info somewhere around the 15th. Now, that being said, let's go over the characters very briefly. I'm not going to get into all their abilities. I'll have separate videos out on all that stuff, but don't worry, you're already in the right place for it, so just stay tuned. Now, we have 8 characters here, folks, so we're going to go from the top of the list all the way to the bottom. Starting out, we have Phoenix. Phoenix's star power shines through in his fighting style, igniting the battlefield with flash and flare. Whether he's got backup or not, he's rushing into a fight on his own terms. Basically, he's a versatile fighter with fire-based abilities that deal some crazy damage, zone enemies, and even heal teammates at times. Moving on, we have Jet, which is the knife lady. Oh my god! Jet's agile and evasive fighting style lets her take risks like no one else can. She runs circles around every skirmish, cutting enemies up before they even know what hit them. Essentially, she's a character with an emphasis on movement and evasion that also wields an arsenal of like 6 throwing knives, and if you get a kill with one of them, they all come back. So make sure you don't mess with this chick, okay? She's got 6 knives ready to get thrown at you, and if you mess up, she's gonna get a whole nother set, okay? Now, on top of that, we have Viper. Viper is the toxic chick from the original trailer. Viper deploys an array of poisonous chemical devices to control the battlefield and cripple the enemy's visions. If the toxins don't kill her prey, her mind games surely will. So essentially, Viper's the toxic chick. She uses poison stuff to control the environment, block sight lines, and actually deal a little bit of damage over time. If you step into that gas, you are going to be taking some crazy damage if you don't get out of it in time. Now, we have a new character we haven't seen before here, folks. This is Sova. Sova's a tracker. Sova tracks, finds, and eliminates enemies with ruthless efficiency and precision. His custom bow and incredible scouting abilities ensure that even if you run, you cannot hide. Essentially, Sova's a tracker. He has a custom bow with a couple different tips that do different things, and he has a drone that he can go around and gather intel with as well. So his abilities are basically used to reveal enemy locations, gather intel, and he has an ultimate that can deal some pretty serious damage with the bow if you're not careful against him. Now we also have Cypher. Cypher's the hat guy we knew absolutely nothing about in the initial trailer. Cypher is a one-man surveillance network who keeps tabs on his enemy's every move. No secret is safe, no maneuver goes unseen, and Cypher is always watching. Essentially, Cypher's a trapper, right? He uses traps and surveillance to keep an eye on the enemy, and he can actually reveal the location of the enemies to his team with some of his abilities like his tripwire and his remote camera and all that stuff. Brimstone's also a new character, folks, and this guy wears a beret, so you guys know that this guy's the real deal. Brimstone's orbital arsenal ensures his squad is always having the advantage. His ability to deliver utility precisely and safely makes him unmatched boots on the ground commander. So basically, he's a mix of tactical abilities and orbital strikes. He can smoke off areas, kill enemies, and even boost your team's damage at times. Sage is basically the healer, folks. Okay, Sage is the person with the orbs that had the res in the trailer, right? She creates safety for herself and her team wherever she goes. She's able to revive fallen friends and stave off forceful assaults as she provides a calm center to a hellish battlefield. Essentially, Sage is a protector, right? She can slow down enemies, protect allies, and even bring a comrade back to life. In a game like this, that is going to be an invaluable asset, and you can expect to see a Sage on pretty much every team. Now, last but certainly not least, we know about Omen. Omen hunts in the shadows. He renders his enemies blind and teleports across the battlefield, letting paranoia take hold as his foes scramble to uncover where he might next strike. Basically, Omen is a mysterious hero we don't know a whole lot about. He can blind enemies, he has a short-range teleport movement ability, and he can actually relocate himself to anywhere he wants on the map with kind of a Reaper type of teleport, but not limited to line of sight. So, it's kind of crazy, folks. Omen's kind of going to be that cloaked, mysterious character we don't know a whole lot about, but based off his ability set, I think you can expect to see him used quite often. Now, we do know about the weapons, and I'm not going to go too in-depth in these. I'm just going to read off the names for you and kind of explain what they are. There's 17 weapons, and these weapons seem to be universal and not tied to the character or sides of the map in any way. Starting off in the pistols category, we have the classic pistol. This is just the normal one you spawn in with at the beginning of every round. If you don't have a weapon, this is what you'll start with. This is the basic bitch, Glock, or USP from CSGO. Below that, you have the Shorty, which, ironically, it's a sidearm shotgun. A little sawed-off double barrel. Don't expect this to be too strong, but I can guarantee you, if you die from this thing, that is going to be a rage-worthy moment. The Frenzy is basically this game's version of the CZ Auto, a little full auto pistol that'll tickle enemies, and you might get lucky and get a kill with it close range. The Ghost looks like it's going to be the suppressed pistol of the bunch. If you don't want to alert enemies, this might be the way to go for you. The Sheriff looks to be the Deagle or revolver of this game. The good old one tap to the head, high skill ceiling weapon that can set an eco round into your favor if you land those shots, people. Now, moving on from the pistols, we have the SMGs. There's only two of them, the Stinger and the Spectre. There's a price difference between the two. You can obviously expect the Spectre to be a little bit better, but the fact that we have a low entry price of $1,000 for the first SMG is actually pretty nice. If you're not the one to go around with a Deagle, you can get one of those Stingers and just spray away. Now, for the shotguns, there's also only two of them. The Bucky would be kind of like the Nova, I'm guessing, from CS, where it's just a one shot to the head at medium to close range. It requires a little more precision. And then you have the Judge, which would be the high fire rate, high mag capacity shotgun that might deal a little bit more damage comparable to the XM from CSGO. As far as rifles are concerned, there's four options here, folks. We have the Bulldog, the Guardian, the Phantom, and the Vandal. Essentially, the Bulldog is going to be the Galil of this game. It's going to be that entry level, okay, if I need a rifle, this is what I'm going with, if you don't want to spend a lot of money. The Guardian is going to be a semi-automatic DMR type of thing. Should be a one tap to the head, so you're kind of sacrificing the ability to spray, and you're spending a little bit less, and you're going to have to rely on precision a lot more, and you won't be able to lean back on the ability to spray if you mess up. The Phantom, we're not sure yet. I didn't really expect there to be kind of an in-between. I kind of thought it would go Bulldog, Guardian, Vandal. I'm not sure. We'll have to look at some of the gameplay here, folks, but I'm assuming the Phantom and the Vandal are in very similar places, where they're most likely both a one-shot to the head, and they're full auto, but we'll have to see going forward. As far as I can tell, the Vandal seems to be the closest we have to the AK in this game. Moving on to snipers, there's only two of them, folks, and it's basically the Scout and the Op from CS. Except for this time, the Scout is actually lever action, and the Op looks a hell of a lot more clunky in this game. The Scout in this game is known as the Marshal. It's a lever action sniper rifle that costs considerably less than the Operator, which, of course, is the Op of this game. Now, these are pretty self-explanatory. There's not much to be said about these, and we will go into the weapons a little bit more in-depth in a separate video. The LMGs are the last weapon category here, folks. We have one called the Ares and one called the Odin. One of them looks like a kind of a Negev situation. The other one literally looks like a minigun. Your character literally holds it from the top because of how much this thing weighs. So if you have an Odin, you should be able to get some good spray and pray in there, okay? Now, like I said, there is supposedly a capture event for this game somewhere in between the 10th and the 12th of March, so we should hear some new info somewhere around there if not shortly after, whether it be a beta sign up or some sort of promotional footage releasing. There's a lot happening this month, so just make sure to stay tuned. Anyway, guys, I gotta get some sleep. I've been up for like 26 hours now, but if you guys have any videos on Valorant you want to see down in the comments below, let me know. I'm gonna be working on different character guides, weapon guides, looking over the maps, analyzing some gameplay, all that fun stuff after I go lay in bed for about 13 hours because holy shit, I am tired at this point. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Hey naysayers, how y'all been? It's been a minute, but I'm in it to win, and I ain't finished. This is the starting gun, and I'ma run it to the front until I'm #1, son. This is a rhythmic defibrillation. Innovation